Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS Current Affair Analysis for 26th of November 2020. In today's video, we'll be discussing a couple of issues. One with respect to the relevance of tax disputes and how it affects the ease of doing business in our economy. What are the steps taken by the government and what we should be doing further. The second one is with respect to a news that was announced yesterday that the government will be investing 2000 crores and how we can actually use this 2000 crores in the infrastructure sector to create a multiplier effect in our economy. The first article taken from the Financial Express titled Need New Laws for Real Time Tax Dispute Resolution. So, we'll be talking about the direct taxes and why there are a lot of tax litigations with various companies. One of the most famous example is that of Vodafone, which the company has won against the government. So let us try to understand what the controversy is all about. But before that, we have to understand we are talking about the direct taxes like minimum alternate tax or various other taxes which the companies are supposed to pay. And there has always been a litigation with respect to the amount of tax that should be collected from the companies. Companies use the legal loopholes to avoid paying taxes, and as far as the legality is concerned, they're pretty much on paper. It is the job of the government to ensure that there are no loopholes in the system. So this is one aspect of it. In order to address this problem of litigation, recently the government has come up with a scheme called Vivad Se Vishwas. One of the main reason as to why we are not attracting investments in our country is the litigation aspect or the pending cases in courts, that is judicial pendency. So if you take a look at the ease of doing business indicators, one of the indicator has something to do with enforcement of contract, and if that enforcement of contract is not happening, generally we go to the court, and when the contracts are not honored and the courts don't respond on time, it makes the business unviable over a period of time. And apart from that, there is also a view that the government tries to harass even genuine taxpayers because the officers involved just don't want to be seen as corrupt individuals, or allegations of corruption scare them. In order to avoid all these complications, the government came up with a mechanism which it believed will increase the payment of tax. So, the mechanism that was followed was, in case of payment of tax, a taxpayer would be required to pay only the amount of disputed taxes. So, there will be complete waiver of interest, penalty, and prosecution provided he or she pays by 31st of March 2020. This was introduced in February during the budget session. But as we all know, the pandemic has struck our economy and there has been little progress on this. So the minister has reached out to the Confederation of Indian Industry and addressed the concerns of the industry, saying that they are working on a mechanism which is based on real time data, which gives a headway both to the tax officials who are scared of action by the CAG or CBI against them, and also at the same time, it is the government has also promised that industry would be getting enough support in the form of more friendly policies. In the last few years, the number of cases that the tax officials have filed against companies has significantly gone up. The major reason attributed to this is because of the probable impact that it will have on their careers if they are perceived as corrupt. Any inaction on their part, or if ever there is any scam involved, they invite CAG and CBI's audits and as well as investigation from CBI, which will eventually be a blot on their career and reputation. So they just don't want to take any cases because of any ambiguity in the policy. So this requires certain assurance from the government that there is definitely a room for some genuine errors. As we all know, even after being officers, there can be a possibility that even with a good intent, when they're functioning, there is a possibility of an error, or sometimes people tend to overlook a few matters. There are no computerized records end to end sometimes, and this will impact their performance as well. So in those situations, the government must reach out to the tax officials and give them an assurance that we are not here to harass you. At the same time, it should also reach out to the industry and give out a signal that we are not here to extract as much money as we want from you as well, but we will ensure there will be fair and equitable mechanisms. So, apart from setting up a real time mechanism, there is a possibility of mediation panel. Now, this mediation panel is going to be the key for solving all the tax disputes. Going forward, if we can reduce the number of tax disputes in courts, we will be reducing the time taken for all these litigations, and these mediation will ensure that we increase the ease of doing business. This is a very important aspect because we have to work on increasing our investments, and for that to happen we have to ensure that our ecosystem is conducive for FDIC. That is the gist of this article. This news is taken from the Hindu and it is titled Government allots 2000 crores for infrastructure funding. Recently, we have seen that the government has introduced the national infrastructure pipeline, which has not taken off as expected. But this is a good news because it is a direct allocation from the government for infrastructure spending. Now, let us try to understand the mechanism. But before that, let us understand what NIIF is. So NIIF was established in 2015, and the objective was to attract investments from both domestic as well as international sources for funding commercially viable greenfield, brownfield and stalled projects. So what is the focus here? For preliminary exam, you have to understand the source of funds for this. Is it only domestic? No. Is it only international? No. Both domestic as well as international sources are allowed in this. Now the project, is it greenfield, brownfield or stall project? It doesn't matter. It just has to be commercially viable. Otherwise it makes no sense to make investment. It cannot be called as an investment. So you have to understand this basic logic. Now NIIF has been formed as a trust and is registered with SEBI as well. As you can understand, whenever we are attracting investments, there is market player involved in the process. Now whenever there are markets involved, the regulator SEBI will come into the picture. So who are eligible to invest in this fund? Basically, overseas sovereign, quasi sovereign, multilateral, bilateral investors, everybody can invest in this equity provided they have cash. Also, the cash rich PSUs in our country can also invest their money in this fund. Similarly, we have provident funds, we have sovereign funds of another countries who get interest upon investment in our fund, and we also have insurance funds who can generate enough number of investments and also give out interest in return because it is backed by the government. And also at the same time we have debt in the form of market share borrowings. So if anyone says that NIIF consists only of equity, then it is false. There is also an element of debt as well. Now one important aspect of NIIF is to understand that what is the share of government, what is the share of market forces. So as far as the government is concerned, it is 49%. So as far as the market borrowings, equity from sovereign wealth funds, pension funds, etc. are concerned, it is 51%. So basically, the majority of the market will decide the most of the decisions, but at the same time there will also be backing from the government. So as a part of this 2000 crores is coming in. So what this news article basically says is there will be infusion of 6,000 crores as a part of the share that goes in NIIF. So now under NIIF there are various other funds which will be utilized for different purposes. Now we'll not get into the details of that. One important aspect is this debt. NIIF also has a platform which serves as an intermediary between, say, for example, there is a company which wants a loan and there is a government project, but it does not have enough money, so it will come to NIIF, take loan from NIIF, and it will execute the project. Now one might wonder, now one might get it out as to why this company X not approach the investor who is investing in this NIIF rather than directly going to the NIIF and pay higher funds. The problem here is the investor who is investing in this project does not trust X. Since this is a government body, there will be much more trust in NIIF rather than this company X. Therefore, NIIF as a guarantee for the funds will earn a margin. That is how it will raise revenue through its debt platform. That is also one way of its revenue. This is an important development, and please keep a tab on the NIIF developments, because infrastructure news in the future is going to be a very important area where a lot of questions can be asked. That's it for the day. Thank you.